Com.
Hi, I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center. We're proudly offering pet cremation services to help keep your faithful companion close to you. Learn more about our pet services by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
It's the WHOW Morning Show. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, courtesy of Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today, Mary Vogt, the superintendent of Bement Schools. Mrs. Vogt, how are we doing today?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. You know, I said this to Clinton High School principal Jerry Wayne. I hate to ask this question because I never want the summer to end, but how was your summer?
My summer was great. Superintendents work 12 months out of the year, get some vacation time to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I typically would take some vacation time during the school year, a day off here or there, and didn't have that opportunity last year. So I made a commitment to myself that I would take every Friday off if possible.
Nice.
Took some Fridays and Mondays off just for some extended weekends, and took a trip out east and got to explore Nantucket for the first time, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great summer, purposely making sure I had some time away from the office as well.
Yeah, definitely. Got to have that good work-life balance, right?
Yes, absolutely. If you find a way to make it truly balanced, you let me know.
Right. So, like you said, you do work 12 months out of the year. So unfortunately, you don't get that summer break. But what kept you busy over the summer while you were in the office?
Yeah, so summertime is one of the busiest times in the district's central office. It's when we have end of the year state reporting that needs to be completed and submitted.
Mm-hmm.
It's when we start working on the budget for the next school year. Of course, budgets all have to be approved and submitted by September 30th. So that doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. And then when the building is empty of students and staff, that's when our maintenance and custodial crew really do a great job of getting the building cleaned and ready for the upcoming school year.
Yeah. So as we were catching up before we got started, nothing too, massive, no giant projects over the summer, but you guys did have some maintenance done. What was done to the facilities over the summer?
We did. So we actually worked out a partnership with the Village of Bement. They were in the roads surrounding our school. They were doing their annual oil and chip. And so we had some parking areas that were in need of attention. So just through a mutual agreement with them, they helped resurface those parking areas for us, making it a lot safer without the massive potholes there. And then we replaced a roof on our industrial tech building. And then we have an overhang outside of our cafeteria. We replaced the roof on that as well. So those projects are complete. We also have approved air conditioning, gym, a whole new HVAC system in our gym. So our Walsh Gymnasium, it's a beautiful facility. If you've ever seen the movie Hoosiers, it actually reminds me of that, just with the wooden beams and the arched ceiling. But the gym has never been air conditioned. And so with this day and age, we can't just keep doors propped open and fans running to keep airflow through. So the board did approve that HVAC project, which is going to be starting here soon. And by the end of October, we'll have air conditioning in our gym. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what that means for our facility use in the future, because we cannot use that gym during the summer. It's unbearable.
Right.
And so being able to open it up, and again, the partnership with the village and some of the activities for the community as well. And then we also have approved another project that will be complete by the end of October. The football field here in Bement is not at the school. It's a few blocks away, and there's a 1930s field house building out there
Mhm.
that right now houses asbestos and wild animals, and some equipment that hasn't been used for years. And so we went ahead and have that on our project list to demolish that building. Right now, we pay insurance on it, and it doesn't really serve a
Right,
positive purpose for us.
right.
So, even though typically summer is when all of the major projects happen, we're actually going to be continuing some of that work and having it done with the least disruption possible for the school setting.
Yeah, yeah. So that HVAC project in the gym, I feel like that's kind of been a long running issue. I remember catching up back in February, I think it was, with you, and we were talking about that same HVAC in the gym project. So tell me a little bit
Yes.
about the history of it. How you guys have gotten to where you are now.
Sure. So it's actually something that I think sometimes people just who aren't familiar with how the school system works. It's
Yeah.
not like at home where you can call somebody and say, "Hey, I'd like you to install this new HVAC system." You put it on the schedule, write the check from your checkbook, and then away you go. In the school setting, you have to budget for projects like that and make sure that you're spending the funds out of the appropriate account.
Hmm.
And so it was a matter of having a bid process, accepting the bids, and then the board approving to accept those bids, and then the timeline. So one of the major pieces for that project, it's about a 4-week lead time on having it delivered.
Hmm.
So the board did approve the project in July. And so that's where now here we are, August. I sorry, I misspoke. In June, they approved the project in June,
Gotcha.
um, and then having the process of the company that the bid was awarded to, now they need to work with all of their independent contractors
Yep.
and people for the various parts of the project. So, again, it's not like at home where you make a couple of phone calls. This is a major project, and
Right.
so the timeline, again, they'll get started here pretty quickly and then be done by the end of October. But in order to complete that project, funding is coming from a few different areas. We do have funds available with our in our capital projects.
Hmm.
Last school year, the 23-24 school year, we actually sold some working cash bonds, so we had money left
Awesome.
from that. And then we have going on the board agenda in September for a possible approval is an addition from the gym to our industrial tech building. And so using those working cash bonds again, we also issued an additional working cash bond here this school year as well.
Hmm.
And then we've had some private donations. And
Great.
so just trying to get the word out to the community that, we are committed to improving the facilities, the work that's been done in the last 3 years. We've completely redone the network.
Yeah.
We have replaced technology. We have upgraded our security system. We've installed new cameras, new intercoms. And, at this point, we've done all of this without a referendum, without
Wow.
asking for any additional money in taxes. The tax has remained level for the last 3 years, and
Mhm.
so that's where we're working closely with King's Financial as well, and them helping us through that process of the working cash bonds to make sure that we're honoring the taxpayers, but then also making improvements to the facility.
Yeah, yeah, and I just gotta say that addition that you were speaking of, that's just going to be so great. Not only in terms of keeping kids out of the rain, out of the snow when they're going to class, but also the safety aspect of it. It's going to be awesome to be able to keep those kids inside when they're traveling between classes.
It really is, and it also will help. I feel like right now our office staff is desensitized to the sound of people buzzing to get in
Yeah.
because it's, every 42 minutes you've got a group of kids who are buzzing to get back in the building. And
Mhm.
so it just logically it doesn't make sense that we're sending kids outside and then buzzing to get back into a building where everything's locked.
Yeah.
But again, that partnership with the community, this will provide ADA entrance into the building, ADA restrooms.
Great.
So it will be a situation talking with Bob Stevens, our village president. Just, you know, let's face it, a natural disaster could come through. We might need a cooling center, a warming center.
Mhm.
So if we as a school district, my long-term goal here is to have a generator that would power that gym and
Yeah.
the addition area, so that we could continue using this facility as a place for the community.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So that gym HVAC project, you said that it's hopefully going to be done by the end of October. That's going to come up pretty quick.
Yes, it is.
Is that construction or anything going to interfere with gym classes or any fall sports?
Potentially. And so, our first day back, sharing that with the entire staff
Yeah.
that, this will disrupt part of our school day.
Hmm.
But it's so important to communicate early and often. And so, making sure that the staff is aware, first of all, yes, it's going to interfere.
Hmm.
When I have the dates that it will interfere, I will let you know. But here's, the approximate timeline. I think that we might need to move some of those gym classes. We co-op our sports with Cerro Gordo, and so our RAD has already talked with the Cerro Gordo administration and given them a heads up that there
Great.
might be some games that we need to move.
Hmm.
And truly, I think it will be minimal if we have to move any games.
Yeah, knock on wood, right? We don't want to jinx it. uh, Again, it is Mary Vogt, the superintendent of Bement Schools on the WHOW Morning Show. Anything else on upcoming projects or any facility updates that are going to be coming up before we take a break?
No, those are the main ones.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more with Mary Vogt, the superintendent of Bement Schools on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Friday. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. We start the day higher across the board with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. September corn opening 378.5, up 3.5. December corn up 3.5, $4.75. March corn 417.5, up 3.5. September beans starting the day 1016, up 8.5. November beans up 8, 1036.5, and January beans 1056.5, up 8.25. September wheat opening 506.5, up 3. December wheat up 2.5, 527.25. March wheat 544.75, up 2.5. September bean meal 286.60, up 230, and September bean oil 52.35, up 36 cents. Opening numbers on this Friday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
School is right around the corner. Let us help you get to class in style at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. We have a great savings on the entire Chevy lineup, from the economic Trailblazer and Trax to the upscale Silverado or Tahoe. We have you covered. Our used and certified pre-owned cars are getting straight A's also. This school year, see all our inventory online. Chevrolet, together let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Are you looking for a new doctor? Someone who makes you feel heard? At Memorial Care, our primary care physicians and advanced practice providers do more than checkups. They also check in, listening to your needs, discussing your health trends, and advocating for you, especially when you notice a change. They're people you can trust, from a trusted healthcare leader. Memorial Care. Real care. Real connections. Learn more at memorial.health/primary care.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
It's the WHOW Morning Show. I'm Ben Hubbard. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, courtesy of Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. We continue with our guest on the Zoom today, Mrs. Mary Vogt, the superintendent of Bement Schools. And Mrs. Vogt, before we got started, we were saying the school's already started for you guys. So tell me what it's like to have kids back in the building.
It's amazing. So with all of the work that comes in the summer, those first few days, it's really enjoyable to have the quiet.
Yeah.
And then by midsummer, I miss the activity. I miss seeing the students. And so getting them back in the building, which, again, we have a very unique situation here in that our entire pre-K through 12 district is all under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
And my office is in the elementary building. So it is amazing. It feeds that teacher heart that I have to still be able to interact with the students and see them and talk with them and find out what they were up to over the summer and
Yeah.
how they're feeling now being back at school.
Yeah. And then pretty soon you'll start missing the quiet again, right? Yeah.
Well, I guess that's one benefit. Like, I mean, right now it was I need to be on a Zoom, so I'm closing my door. So I don't use that privilege very often, but if needed, I could.
Yeah. Yeah. So naturally, teachers are getting into the building before students are. Tell me a little bit about how that teacher prep has gone before students came in.
Yeah. So again, shout out to our maintenance and custodial crew. They do such a great job and they're very mindful of, especially our elementary teachers want to get in and work on in their classroom. They don't want to wait until they're required to be here on those institute days.
Mhm.
So our maintenance and custodial staff typically work starting with the elementary part of the building and then the middle school and then the high school and just make sure that teachers know what their schedule is. So then they're in communication with the teachers to say, okay, your room is ready, or hey, we're doing the hallways. Please don't come in this weekend. And so, the teachers appreciate having that time to come in
Yeah.
as they would like to. Some of them purposely wait until it's a rainy day, and
Yeah.
then they'll come in and get a little work done in the classroom on those rainy days. But it's always really impressive to see from one year to the next. We don't have many spaces in this building that look exactly the same from one year to the next. They do a great job preparing for their new set of students.
Yeah. Those required institute days that you mentioned, what do those look like?
Yeah, so in that, again, it depends from year to year.
Yeah.
This year we on the first day back, we focused on some of those back to school expectations and routines.
Mhm.
Something new we did this year that we will absolutely do in the future is we invited our substitute teachers to join us. We
Great.
go over so much information just about, again, the routines, the expectations for staff as well as students, and then our safety plan and reminders about what to do in the event of different types of emergencies.
Mhm.
And so having the substitutes come in and join us for that was extremely helpful for our staff. Because again, if we have a substitute here, the staff member isn't here. So some of our staff members had never met those substitutes.
Yeah.
And then having some new substitutes that had never been in the district before,
Mhm.
we took them on a tour. And so, the orientation, we were talking a little bit about freshman orientation. Well, our freshmen, they've been in the building as middle schoolers. And so, we don't have a brand new set of freshmen coming into the building necessarily, but those substitutes, what we found was doing a substitute orientation was extremely beneficial for them and us.
Yeah.
So that first day, and then also, we have required meetings that we need to get to, and then the second day we had Piatt County EMA and Kirby paramedics, and then representatives from Cisco and Monticello Fire come in
Mhm.
and do a stop the bleed training. So one thing we talked about as a staff on that first day, talking about some of the AI that, it's not going away.
Mhm.
And what we need to remember as a staff, be it AI, stop the bleed, reading, math, any and everything that we do as a school staff, we're not teaching the students, and I'm not having the staff trained just so that they can use the skills within the walls of this building. We are training and teaching so that our students and staff are prepared no matter where they are.
Yeah.
And so for students, the goal is, this what I've told my daughters, what I tell my students. The goal is for our students to graduate and be positive, productive members of society,
Yeah.
whether that's the workforce, whether it's, going on to a 2 or 4 year college experience, whether it's a trade school. We want them to be positive, productive members of society. And in order to do that, we need to provide them with the skills that they need. And same then for the staff. It's, yeah, we are training on Stop the Bleed, not necessarily because we want you to use it here, but maybe you could save a life somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So it's just some of those really important things and building the connections. And we're also very fortunate. This was unique. One of our night custodians is actually a musician, a performer.
Oh,
And so he is playing at the state fair tomorrow
cool.
in one of the expo buildings before the Def Leppard concert.
Mhm.
And so during lunch on Wednesday, we brought in a taco bar for the staff for lunch, and he performed for us as a practice before being at the state fair.
That's
So
super cool.
yeah, providing that opportunity for staff to get together and talk, and just the fellowship of it,
Yeah.
and getting everything back together after the summer.
Yeah, definitely. Well, between substitutes and teachers, how you guys doing on staffing this year?
We are in really great shape.
Yeah.
We did not have any certified staff members resign to go somewhere else. What we had was a high school English teacher retired,
Mhm.
and so we filled that spot back in April. We hired somebody for that spot, and
Right.
then we actually added a kindergarten class because we've seen an increase in our kindergarten numbers. So we're feeling very fortunate in that we had all of our certified staff returned to us, and then those hires were because of a retirement and adding a section. So
Yeah.
again, it's a knock on wood moment,
Yeah.
but we're doing great with staffing. In fact, we have one of our high school teachers is going to be out for a procedure, and we already have one of the subs who came on that first day after being, part of that day, agreed to take that long-term leave. Just stating that they felt more comfortable after having been through the building and meeting the staff.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure that professional and that personal development that you were just speaking about helps with that retention. Do you think there's anything else that is building that retention for your teachers?
We talk a lot about just the atmosphere, that it is a family atmosphere.
Yeah.
Is everything perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
But we have such a great staff who are willing to support each other and be there for each other. Yesterday, some of the glitches, trying to do attendance online for the first time, and
Mhm.
found out, oh gosh, this needs to be fixed. And it becomes just that, high stress moment. But then being able to remind staff, listen, this has happened before and we got through it. We'll get through it this time too.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Everything will be okay. And so again, just the support for each other is wonderful. Building administrators, Doug Kepley, middle school, high school principal, he's been in the district, I believe 30 years now. Christy Sweet has been in the district. She's our elementary principal. And then our AD, she's been in the district 5 years now. This is my 4th year. And so our staff recognizes they have a strong administrative team that
Mhm.
works well together and is here for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got just about a minute left with you, Mrs. Vogt. Just real quick, speak to, the start of school. How are kids doing it in that first day that they've been in the building?
There are some tears, some from the kids, some from their parents. But overall, everything is going very well. The kids are excited to be here. At the younger grades, you talk to the middle schoolers and high schools, and they'd rather be at home in bed, and that's to be expected.
Yeah.
So it's just it's okay to feel that way, but we're happy you're here. So overall, it's been a great start to the year, and we're really looking forward to it continuing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about 30 seconds. Do you think having all the kids in one building, is there any, mentorship or leadership from those older students to the younger students?
Yes, there is, and we have some teachers who will be having high school students working in their classroom with them on a
Oh,
regular basis to help support the
great.
the younger students.
Awesome,
Yep, the
awesome.
younger
Well, I'm
kids.
so sorry that we're just about out of time.
Yeah,
Again, that is Superintendent of Bement Schools, Mrs. Mary Vogt, on the WHOW Morning Show. Thanks so much for taking time for me today, Mrs. Vogt.
thank you.
You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WH.
All right, Mrs. Vogt. Let me end this
You
here.
did a great job.